Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I came up with this little fun birthday look. I just turned 36 on November 1st and damn it, I needed something to make me feel like I wasn't 36. I needed something to make me feel like I was just a little bit younger and have a little fun with some color and be a little creative. So I played with the new Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette to come up with this look. I also had a couple of the JD Glow cosmetic eyeshadow singles. Thank you to Amy Loves Makeup for suggesting those in a recent video because they are phenomenal and I had so much fun coming up with this look today. I do have a new foundation, I have a new lip liner, a new lipstick. Actually, I have quite a few newer products in this video. So if you guys are interested to see what I used to come up with this look, keep on watching. So I should have known that going on like a low buy during my birthday month was probably not a very smart idea because I love makeup, so if I'm going to purchase anything for myself for my birthday, it's going to be makeup. So I did already pick up the Soleil Tan de Chanel for my birthday, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, and I did already use it in a prior video, but then something else happened. Huda Beauty got inside of my mind, and she created a palette, and this is what it looks like. This is her Mercury Retrograde palette. So we have the big mirror, like a really nice hefty size mirror here. And this color story is beautiful. And then of course you got the different textures in there. We got mattes, glitters, shimmers, toppers. This is just me in a palette. So we're going to be playing with that today. So the first thing that I'm going to be using to kind of get a nice base going before I use this foundation is the Smashbox Photo Finish Oil and Shine Control Primer. This has kind of become a quick favorite for me because it does help mattify my skin pretty nicely. And I'm an oily person, so that's super helpful. So after that primer sinks in a little bit, I am going to take the Tarte Timeless Smoothing Primer and I'm just going to press that into my pores. So I'm not going to spread this like all over my face. I basically just want to keep it on the nose area, like right here in the crease, maybe a little bit under my eye and on my chin, and you know, maybe a little bit here in the center of my forehead, so almost all over my face. And then we'll let that set as well before we do the foundation. This is something, if you have this or if it's something that you're thinking about trying, just keep in mind if you use too much, it's gonna cause your makeup to kind of slide around a little bit. So you want to be a little conservative with how much you're using. So you know what else got me around my birthday? Freaking Kohl's. They were having like this huge Black Friday sale, an early Black Friday sale. And between that and earning Kohl's cash, and then you could take like an extra 20% off, they got me. But it was good though. It was good because I needed a couple more shirts. My kids really needed some clothes. So I ended up saving like $400 and some and only spending like $160 on like 20 some articles of clothing. So I think I did pretty good. Let's do the eyeshadow first. That's going to be doing things a little bit backwards. Oh, and I want to show you something too. So the last business trip that I went on, I left my mirror at the hotel room. And it was like the only mirror that I really had to like film with or to use other than being in the bathroom mirror. So I had to purchase another one. I bought my first mirror off Amazon and I bought this mirror off Amazon. But I know how expensive mirrors are. Like if you look at those Ricky mirrors, those Ricky Cutie mirrors, whatever the hell they're called, those are so ridiculously priced. Like I'm not going to pay that kind of money for a mirror. And they're not even that big. Like they're just, I'm sure they're well made, but it's a mirror. So I grabbed this one. Let me see if I can get it in frame. I want you to see how big this mirror is. Like if you hold it up to my head, this is a rather large mirror. It's touch activated. So if you touch this little power button here, it'll light up. And then if you hold it down, it dims. And of course, if you hold it down again, it brightens back up. So, and it also came with like one of those 10 times magnification mirrors. I want to say it was like $40, which again, if you've seen these mirrors, that is not a bad price for this. So I did just want to mention that because I've been loving this mirror. It's such a good size for the amount of money you're paying for it. Okay, so for the eyes today, I am going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Eye Primer as a base. I'm just going to slather that on with my fingers real quick. I kind of forgot I had this, and I'm really trying to get some use out of stuff that's sitting in my drawers. So that's what we're doing right now. There's a couple things that I'm like, I refuse to buy more of at this point. Primers, eye primers, concealers. I really shouldn't be buying any more foundations. Like, those are the main things that I am not buying any more of right now because I already have way too much. And, you know, it's already hard enough to go through those products. But I do want to continue to do, like, the shop my stash type videos. And, you know, use up what I have, because when I get to looking through my collection, I kind of get excited about using certain things. The sheer amount of product that I have sitting behind me is so much that I forget what I have. And it's so overwhelming that I don't use even a fraction of what's sitting there. Okay, I think what I'm going to do first, I'm going to go into the shade, what is that? Momentum. It's this really pretty, like, just this matte peachy shade here. I'm just going to lay that all over the lids to kind of give a matte base for everything to lay onto. And I'm going to do that with a Sigma large shader brush. This is the E60. Oh, this does have a lot more pigment to it than I thought it did. Okay. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to buff Utopia, which is this really pretty, like, I don't know. It's like a melon shade. But I'm going to buff that all into the crease area. Okay, so I'm going to take a Morphe M573 brush. Let's take the shade Off Balance. That's this really pretty, like, lilac-y purple here. And I'm going to buff that a little bit lower into my crease. I'm going to be using the Morphe Jeffree Star JS9 brush. Whoa, that's dark. It looks so much different in the pan. I think the reason being is just the packaging. It can always change the way your shadows look. Okay, so now I'm going to take this shade called Karma. It's this darker, like, muted, almost like a pinky brown down here. I'm going to take the Sigma E25 blending brush. I want to keep this orange tone to this, or like, you're not even really orange, but like this melon undertone. I don't want to completely get rid of that. Okay, I think I want to add some more purple to this look. I'm going to take this dark purple called Hot Mess, my nickname. And this time I'm going to take my Smith 230 brush. Actually, I'm going to dip between Hot Mess and Off Balance. So it's these two purples right here. Alright, so before we jump into this foundation, I am going to deepen up that crease a little bit with this really dark purple shade. It's called Vortex, this one down here. Don't mind me, I was just watching Tati while doing my eyeshadow. I'm going to be using the Sigma E27 detailed blending brush. I've really had, like, no problems getting this to blend. Layering them, nothing. Such a good quality palette. I'm not going to spend too much more time trying to blend that. So, thanks to Amy Loves Makeup, I was watching one of her videos and she was talking about some of JD Glow Cosmetics single shadows. And I absolutely fell in love with some of the shades that she was talking about. One of the shades is called Insane. It's this beautiful, like, pinky blue duochrome. It's so gorgeous, super intense. I also picked up the shade Watermark. These are their Galaxy Collection shadows. This one here is absolutely my favorite. It's like a, oh man, I don't know, this really dark, sparkly green blue. It's heaven. I also grabbed one that's called Unexpected. This one has a different, I don't even know all the colors that are in here. It's like, it's got a purple shift to it. I don't know if I can get that to show up. It's got like green or yellow, and then it shifts purple. Oh, it is so beautiful though. These shadows are something special. I also grabbed one that's called Bora Bora. This one is like a beautiful blue, green. They're just stunning. This collection of shadows is stunning. And then last but not least, I grabbed one called AKA. This one is probably my second favorite. It's this really pretty, like pink, glittery awesomeness. I feel like all of these do have a little bit of a duochrome quality to it, but they're like glitter duochromes. I can't even explain it. They're just unique. They're beautiful. They're worth every penny. If you've been considering buying some of these JD Glow Galaxy shadows, you will not be disappointed. So, in saying all that, that was kind of like the segue into my little decision here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take Nebula on the outside corner of my eyes, and then I'm going to pack the shade AKA from JD Glow Cosmetics on the inner portion of my eye, just because I want to use it so bad. It's so beautiful. Okay, so let's take a Morphe M421. This is just like a little packer brush, and I'm going to pick up the shade Nebula. I mean, it grabbed it pretty nicely, I would say. Let's see what happens when I try to pack it on the outer corner here. Oh man, it's such a pretty shade. But it's definitely going to be better with the fingertip, so. I mean, look at that. What are you doing? Okay, okay. I mean, I'm not trying to film or anything. What are you doing? Huh? What are you doing? You guys can see ears. You can't see nothing else. Don't scratch me. I didn't ask you to come up here. I didn't. What are you doing? Huh? What are you doing? Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. I'm so glad that I decided to pick these up. I'm even more glad that I heard Amy talking about them, because I would never have gone on the website and just picked these out on my own, because I'm really funny about picking up products that I don't know the brand very well, or I've never heard anyone speaking about them. I just don't want to waste money, you know? This is next level. If you're into like shimmery eyeshadows, or like really intense glitter, duochromes, like look at that. Oh, it's so pretty. Kind of got the cotton candy vibes going on, but I really don't even care. I do have a lot of glitter fallout, but I am going to kind of wipe that up. Plus I haven't done my foundation yet either, so that won't be too bad. Okay, let's take that pink on this side now. Again, this is not by any means a very clean-cut makeup look. I've kind of got glitter everywhere. I'm just experimenting and having fun, so bear that in mind. I wasn't really planning on going for the whole like glittery disco, like out of this world vibes today, but here we are. And I think this was like subconsciously my way of trying to look and be younger than I am, because I'm 36 now and it's so depressing. I'm trying to brush some of this glitter fallout away, but it's not going anywhere. So we're kind of stuck with it now. So I am going to take like a little bit of an eye wipe and try to get rid of some of this glitter fallout, and then I'll just have to reprime. So definitely, if you're going to be using really glittery shadows, highly recommend going in and doing this before you do foundation. Otherwise, you're going to end up with fallout all over your foundation. I am going to drag some stuff underneath my eyes after my entire face is done. So right now we're going to jump into the rest of the face products, and then we'll come back to this bad boy in a little bit. Okay, so I don't know how many of you actually watch beauty YouTube videos, but if you do, then you probably have heard of the brand Believe Beauty that's been showing up at like dollar stores. I went and picked up a few things from that line. I grabbed their foundation. I think I grabbed a bronzer or a highlighter, and I also grabbed an under eye corrector. So that's what I'm going to be using in this video. It's just like your typical peach colored under eye corrector. And this is really good for canceling out dark circles if you have a lot of purple tones underneath your eyes. I've never used this. Like, I've swatched it just to see what the consistency was like, but I have not used it yet. So I'm hoping it doesn't make my under eyes look really cakey or really heavy. Usually I don't like color correct underneath my eyes. I just go in with a really heavy concealer, but I'm down to try different things. The real testament is when I put my actual concealer on, and we'll see how that looks. It doesn't feel like really greasy and like overly emollient. You know what I mean? Like normally with the lower end type products, I don't want to say lower end, but more affordable products, the cream products are way too emollient, and it's almost like they're greasy. This does not have that feel at all. It does feel heavy, it does feel thick, and it is blending really nicely, but it's not like overly greasy. So that was a drawn out explanation. I'm going to take some of the Hollywood Flawless Filter from Charlotte Tilbury, and I'm just going to put a little bit of it like right here on top of my cheekbones, maybe a little bit down the middle of my nose, just to give my skin a little bit of luminosity. I don't use this product enough, and it was one of those things where it was like so hyped up, and I had to have it, and it's like, you know, what do you do when you get products like that? Let them sit, collect dust? No, you got to use them. I'm just going to use my finger to tap this out. I don't want to go like hardcore with it. I just want to get a little bit of glowiness on the skin, because this is going to get covered up by foundation, but some of it will shine through. Like, look at this cheek, and then look at this one. Just makes you look shiny. I don't know why we all want to be shiny looking all of a sudden, but we do. That's just how it is. We all want to be shiny. Everyone wants to sparkle, or at least I do. Sometimes I find that when I try to put this over top of foundation, it can remove that layer. So depending on how I think my foundation's laying, if I think it can handle another layer on top, I might do that. Otherwise, we'll just leave it at this base layer here. I am going to take the IT Cosmetics Love is the Foundation brush to buff this Shiseido foundation. We're going to give it a shake first. What I do really like about this is it has like a swivel top. That way it locks. So if you're taking it traveling, or you know, you have to go anywhere with it, you don't have to worry about it spilling, making a mess. I'm just going to put a little bit of this on the back of my hand here, and I'm going to start buffing it on my face. I'm going to try not to use too much. I feel like when I do that, it just makes my makeup look really cakey and heavy. So let's see if I can keep it to a minimum today. And when I'm using this brush, I don't really like to drag it around. I don't really like to like swirl it or anything. Sometimes I will. It just depends on the consistency of the foundation. But more often than not, I just want to kind of stipple it in. So I do more like patting motions. That's how you kind of keep your coverage. Because when you're swirling, you're kind of moving all that stuff around. And you're also moving around what's underneath of it. Oh, I forgot to tell you, the shade for my foundation is 120 Ivory. Yeah, I think that gave me really nice coverage, actually. I am not mad at that. And I feel like it does match my body pretty well. I think the shade may be like one shade too light, but it's not awful. Okay. I was kind of hoping that I could skip concealer with using that under eye corrector and using just the foundation, but I can still see a little bit of darkness under there, and it's killing me. I gotta cover it up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye underneath my eyes, because it's a very like thick, creamy consistency, and it doesn't get real dry and crepey looking. I am going to have to set this a little bit though, because I plan on going underneath here with some eyeshadow to kind of complete the eye look. Makes it kind of hard to do that when you have a tacky base underneath your eyes. Okay, so I have watched several people put this specific powder underneath their eyes, and I just haven't done that yet. I haven't tried it out that way. When I got this specific powder, it was busted in the box, so I had to fix it up. This is the Wet n Wild Color Icon Reserve Your Cabana. I know that Kelly Strack talks about this all the time as far as like an under eye setting powder. And of course mine's been busted, so it's not pretty. I pressed it back in the pan, put a little bit of alcohol on it, let it sit. Good as new, just doesn't look very pretty. But she constantly uses this underneath of her eyes. I normally don't set my under eye area, but again, since I'm putting shadow under there, I am going to set it today. I hope it does not ruin the way my under eyes look, because I actually really like the way my under eyes look right now. I kind of wanted to put a little bit of that Chanel bronzer on as well. Let's do that. Okay, so I'm like genuinely impressed with the way my under eyes look right now. Using that Believe Beauty under eye corrector and then the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye was like seriously a winning combination. So extremely glad I decided to give this a try today. Now I'm going to set the under eye area with a little bit of that Wet n Wild Reserve Your Cabana powder. I have heard Kelly Strack talk about this over and over and over again. I bought it a while back, never used it because it came like busted into like a million pieces. So what I did is I fixed it. I rigged it up, even though I probably could have just bought another one. They're super cheap. But you know, it still works. It's just a powder. I'm just hoping it doesn't ruin what I have going on underneath the eyes, because I'm really happy with the way it looks. I'm going to take this Morphe M438 brush to place a little bit of powder under there. That actually does not look bad. Ooh, I'm really liking the way this is turning out. You know what? This has like a sheen to it. Maybe that's why Kelly likes it so much. Like, I'm half tempted to set my whole face with this powder. It is kind of nice. Okay, so to set my face, I do have the Cover FX Perfect Setting Powder. That's what I'm going to use for like the majority of my face. I'm just going to dump some of that out. Like, whoa, a lot of that comes out. I'm going to take a damp beauty blender to set some of my face. Okay, so I am going to go back over like the bronzer area just a little bit, because I feel like I lost some of that intensity when I set my face. I'm going to try not to overdo it this time. I've been loving this Pure Bronzing Act in Light for my bronzer. It's just perfect. It's not too warm toned, so if you're looking for like a cool tone bronzer or a neutral bronzer, this is perfect. And it smells like chocolate. It smells so yummy. And this brush as well. This is the BH Cosmetics #2 brush from their Marble Luxe line. It is just very, feels very luxurious, but BH Cosmetics is a super affordable brand if you're not familiar with who they are. And they have eyeshadow palettes, they've got foundation and concealers, they've got all kinds of stuff. So if you're looking for affordable makeup and you want to maybe try something different that's not typically at your drugstore, check out BH Cosmetics. Got all kinds of brushes, you name it, they've got it. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day just about my channel and whatnot. She doesn't do YouTube or anything. She just, watches videos here and there. And I told her, like, it's really hard to gain a following and subscribers, and it's hard coming up with video ideas. And I was just talking to her about the, my YouTube struggles. And she said, well, who are you trying to make videos for? And I'm like, that's a good question, because I just film videos that I feel like I would want to watch, and I guess maybe that's not the way I should approach this. I should probably film videos that I think other people would like to watch. But I also film videos that I enjoy filming. So, I don't know. I guess I need to start thinking about what kind of audience I want to be tuning into my videos. Because obviously, if I'm aiming for a more mature audience, then I don't want to be doing these crazy, like, galaxy eyeshadow looks, and or maybe I should. Maybe some people like that. I don't know. I just do the stuff that I like to do and hope and pray that people actually want to watch it. So, what do you guys think about the Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star collab? Anybody watching actually pick that up? And if you did, what do you think about the quality of the shadows? Was it all it was cracked up to be? I actually grabbed the BH Cosmetics Classic Blush Palette. I have not used this yet. I've swatched it and looked at it, but I haven't actually used it on the cheeks. The powders are very creamy feeling, like very soft. They're a little powdery, but very soft. So I'm really hoping this doesn't apply super heavily. That's my fear, because it's very pigmented. So the color this is what it looks like. To me, I feel like this is a very well-rounded blush palette. We've got like deeper tones here. You've got almost like a bronzer shade here. Up top, you've got your neutral pinks. This one here is really pretty. The shade that I'm going to use is the one up top in the middle. It's actually got a sheen to it. Like, I barely dipped my brush in there, and you can see what it did. I'm a little scared. Oh yeah, that brush is covered. Let's see what happens. I think you just have to be extremely careful how hard you dip your brush in there. Otherwise, you're going to end up with clown cheeks, which I tend to do that quite often anyway. For my highlighter, I picked out the Bobbi Brown Afternoon Glow. It's like their little brick highlighters. I don't know if this is going to be too dark for me. I have a feeling... I've never used it. I got it from TJ Maxx a while ago. And when I bought it in the store, I didn't swatch it first because I'm not one of those assholes that swatches everything in TJ Maxx. And then when I got it home, I was like, oh, that looks way too dark for my skin tone. Maybe... I'm just going to like gently tap some on the tip of my cheekbone here because I don't want to overdo it and have it look crazy. It is emphasizing some texture though. I mean, a lot of powder highlights tend to do that on my skin because I have a lot of texture. Look at that. Look at that glow. Oh, I kind of love it. This video is going to be 900 hours long. So I do have a new product for eyebrows though. I'm actually kind of excited about it. I did come across the Urban Decay Brow Blade. This is something that I've been wanting to try for quite some time because my eyebrows are horrendous and I want something that will create what looks like actual hair strokes right here at the beginning of my brows because my brows are very uneven. They don't start where they're supposed to. And I've heard that this product definitely does that. Now, what this is almost like like a felt tip marker basically at one end. It's like an ink stain is what they call it. And then on the other end is just your typical, you know, fine point brow pencil, which I really haven't been using this side of it. I basically bought it for the blade side, and I really wish they sold it separately because, you know, that's really all I wanted this for. But it has been working wonderfully. I really love the way this looks when I use it, so that's what I'm going to do. And, you know, the only thing that stinks about this is if you mess up, it is ink, and it can be kind of hard to fix it. So if I do mess up, I have to kind of go over top of it really quickly with like some foundation or concealer to kind of block it out. Otherwise, I'm wiping stuff away, and then, you know, that creates an even bigger problem when I'm trying to finish my makeup. So I am going to try to take my time and get my brows looking okay. I'm going to very, very lightly flick this right here. There's a little bit too much liquid on the end of this product. I shouldn't have shaken it like I did. What shade is this? Dark Drapes. You gotta be really careful. And then I just do the same thing a little bit throughout, but not all the way, because it's way too dark, so I don't want it to make my brows look crazy. But I'm just kind of filling in a little bit where I'm missing hair. Little tiny hair strokes. And it does dry rather quickly. If you take a look at this side compared to this one, there's already a lot more definition. It is a little darker, but it just looks a little bit more fuller than this side. You just have to really take your time with it. So the rest I'm probably going to fill in with some fiber brow gel and with like a pencil. All right, so now that I've got the eyebrows fully finished and I feel like I'm at least halfway human again. So this is an awesome product. I'm so glad I picked it up. I hope at some point, which I know they're probably not going to do this, but I really wish they would separate the two and just make it just the blade. Okay, so for my inner corner highlight, I pulled out the Violet Voss Rainbow Eyeshadow Palette because there's a particular duochrome, the shade Pearl right here at the bottom. It looks just like a white eyeshadow, but it's not. It's really beautiful, and it shifts like a yellow color. It's really bright. I'm going to place that right there in my inner corner. Oh, yeah. Okay, I like that. I think I will attempt to put some false lashes on just because the eye look is very loud, very in your face, so I'm going to have to match that with some lashes. But for my actual mascara, I'm going to use the Essence Lash Princess Waterproof mascara. This is their False Lash Effect mascara. It's so good. This is my favorite mascara at the moment, and it's drugstore, so it's nice and cheap. I think it's $4.99 for this bottle. Okay, so this is the eye look without having falsies on. I am going to go ahead and throw a pair of false lashes on just because I do want to amp this up a little bit since it is like a really crazy loud over the top look. And then when I come back, we'll put lips on and we will wrap this up once and for all. Okay, so I managed to throw on some Lily lashes. If you've seen prior videos, you know I usually don't wear a whole lot of false lashes. Maybe here and there I do. We did get these, I think, in a subscription box. I think we got these in a BoxyCharm several months back, and I just never wore them. So they're pretty large and in charge, and I know that like this inner corner here is popping up all funny, but this is as good as I could get them, so that's where we're at with those. And then I lined my lips with the KKW Beauty Lip Liner in 0.5 Nude. I really like this because it's a really good nude shade, but I don't want to leave it like this. I want to go over top of it with the Huda Beauty Prom Night lipstick. These are her like Power Bullet matte lipsticks. I love this formula. It smells like cocoa butter, and it's just extremely soft. It's very, very like velvety on your lips. That's what I'm going to use. I think it's pretty close to this lip liner, to be honest with you. This is just a really nice nude lipstick. I really wanted to buy more of them, but they're pretty pricey. I think they're like $25 a piece, so I'm not buying any more of those anytime soon. The only other thing that I did, I took a little bit of the Baddest Beige lipstick from Maybelline, and I just kind of went over top of what I already had on the lips to give it a little bit more shine, because I wanted it to be a little more, you know, bam. I didn't want it to be so matte. So this is going to be the finished look. This is like my little birthday look. I had so much fun playing with these products today. The Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette. I just can't say enough good things about this. The color story is just totally up my alley. I'm in love with the shimmers in here, the glitter, the toppers. The mattes are so creamy and they blend beautifully. I just had a really fun time coming up with this look. These JD Glow Cosmetic singles that Amy Loves Makeup kind of influenced me to buy. Such a pretty shade. The other shades that I bought, I cannot wait to play with. I'm also really impressed with the Shiseido Synchro Skin Self-Refreshing Foundation. I think it looks really nice on my skin. I've had this stuff on for at least like 6 hours, probably a little longer, and it's not breaking down on my face. My face looks like a little glowy, but that's only because I added a bunch of highlighter to it. Like it's not because it's super oily. It's actually sitting on my skin really nicely. So I'm really glad I gave this another shot, because the first couple times I wore it, it wasn't that it was bad. I just wasn't like blown away by it, but I'm really pleased with the way it looks right now. So this is a total win for me. And then I'm also really pleasantly pleased with the Believe Beauty under eye corrector, this little peach toned corrector. I don't know what it is about my under eyes today, guys, but I am really digging the way that it looks under there. And I'm, more often than not, I'm not really happy with it. I'm not very impressed, because it does get really crepey and dry. And, you know, I am 36, so I do have wrinkles underneath my eyes, a little bit of a texture, and, you know, the fine lines. And I'm not seeing any of that right now. So I am over the moon about this. And then, of course, you know, my IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye. I've used that underneath my eyes before. I really like using that underneath my eyes because it just gives a little bit of moisture back. It doesn't dry them out really badly, so that's a plus as well. And then this Wet n Wild powder, this Reserve Your Cabana. Kelly Strack, you're a freaking genius. I'm so glad I decided to try this tonight. I've had this sitting in my makeup collection now, I don't know, probably about a year. I'm blown away by what it did for my under eyes, so I'm going to keep using this. I'm so glad I actually tried it tonight. Super stoked about that. I feel like I had a lot of different products today that I was trying out either for the first time or trying out like for the second or third time. Like these were all really new to me type products, and those are my favorite to play with because it's experimenting and it's getting to know these products and how they work for me. So I had so much fun filming this video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. Thank you guys for watching. If you do like the video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. It does help my channel out tremendously, and I do greatly appreciate when you guys take the time to do that. If you're not already subscribed, I hope you consider subscribing before you leave today. If you do subscribe, don't forget to hit the notification bell. That way YouTube lets you know of every future upload, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.